Namaste, everyone, and welcome to Light, Laughter, and Lattes. My name is Geri Habstritt, and my guest, Patty Peterson. We are both medical intuitives, Avesa quantum healers, Self-Ascension intuitive counselors, and your hosts today for Light, Laughter, and Lattes. And so we just want to welcome you to this crazy week. Wow, the energy has been really big as of July. And I'm sure you're all noticing it. But before we jump into that, I want to welcome everyone who's listening via Oneness Talk Radio Facebook, Oneness Talk Radio YouTube, or if you catch this later on Spotify or any of the other podcasts, just know that you can catch us live Oneness Talk Radio, Facebook, or YouTube at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesdays. And we have a chat that's open. So if you happen to be joining us right now, jump into the chat and say hi. Just put your name there. We love to have the interaction. We also have a call line, and the number is below. The call-in number is 517-208-1500. If you have any medical intuitive questions, or you want a little mini reading, or you just want to join in the conversation, we are happy to be here and happy to have you here with us. And so let's start out about the time that we're in now, in this massively experience month. And it is big energy. I don't know if you're all noticing it.
Feeling it in your heart. Maybe your solar plexus. That's a big one now.
Yeah. And that's the title of our show too today. And it's all about the heart, the ignited heart. And so I'm going to share a little bit how we got to that show, because it's pretty powerful right now, because the ignited heart is everything. That is where your manifestation power becomes very strong, and you are now in the field of the instant manifestations. And I don't know if you've all been noticing it, but oh my goodness, it is huge. I've got lots of stories to share around it. I just got back from the mountains, and so bringing all of you out there, this great sawtooth mountain energy, crystal clear, beautiful glacial fed lake energy, sunshine and woods energy. And so really nature is calling big time. I don't know about you, Patty, but I literally got pushed into the mountains. Last week was so crazy energetically that there was only two places I was happy. One was dancing, two was in nature. Yes. I mean, even if I did yoga in my apartment, it was crazy. I was pushed back and forth. I was going in and out of depression. And I went to do yoga in the park, and I felt great.
Yes.
And I come back to my apartment, I'd feel terrible. I'd go for a walk, I'd feel great.
Exactly.
And so much right now is I'm finding about nature and really the need to be in the mountains. So I just packed up everything and headed to the mountains. And I get my Girl Scout badge because I put up a tent all by myself.
Well, I want to say, Geri, first of all, I feel there's like this purification energy coming in with you. You know, I can feel those, the waters, the mountains. And it's like, and it is that higher vibe, right? Weren't we encouraged many years ago by Archangel Zadkiel to breathe into, if we can't be in the mountains, to have pictures of the mountains?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do that. And so I really thank you for bringing that. I'm not near mountains, but I mirror what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I was feeling discombobulated today a bit and doing practices here at home. And until I went for a walk by the water and continued to do the clearing and the aligning and the calling in the I am presence, everything got brighter. All of a sudden I went, boom. Mm-hmm. It was like, wow, everything just amped up in brightness for me. Mm-hmm. And so I trust that a lot of people are probably sensing that their souls are calling them to be out, whatever nature you can connect with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's actually, a little bit even more to that story. I knew that I needed to go up there. And of course, it was right after the 4th of July. And there's been a ton of people that have moved into the area where I live in. And so everyone wants to go out to all these places. And so I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So I went online to the lodge I like to stay at. They're booked through September. And I'm like, oh, but I can get me a spot. I can command me a spot there. And I just kind of let it go. I went and looked at all the campsites, and they were pretty much booked too. But I saw that there was a few that might be available if I go there, but I couldn't book them.
Yes.
And so I've been getting this strong 8 energy around me. So last month I was in Ecuador for 8 days. I did a San Pedro journey that was an 8-sided San Pedro. It had archangelic energy in it. The 2 of us that did the San Pedro, her master soul code was a 10, mine's a 7, which is a 17, which is another 8. And so I came back and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to do a master cleanse for 8 days. And then, like I was just sharing, last week I was so thrown every which way and went into depression for maybe 4 days. And the only place I felt good was in nature. So off I go into the mountains, not knowing. I've got stuff for car camping. I got stuff for a tent. I've got and I get there and I show up to the campsite and he's like, nope, we're completely booked. And I'm like, are you sure? There's some potential spots. And the friend that was with them looks down. He says, well, it looks like number 8 is open. And so they bring me over to campsite number 8. And there it was, open for the exact 2 days that I was planning to come for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got my campsite, which was awesome. And then I went over to, I'm hearing a bit of an echo. I don't know why it does that sometimes. I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit, see if that helps. So anyways, I go to the lake, these mountains, the energy that these mountains carry, and all the mountains have a bit of a different energy.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, the sawtooths really speak to me. And I stood in front of them on the beach and put out my hands and just went, thank you. And this massive pile of energy came flowing through me. I mean, my hands got so heavy that I could barely hold the energy. And as it moved through me and moved through me and moved through, by the time it was done, I was glowing. I looked like I was plastic, like my legs were so shiny. And I kept touching my arms because I was shiny. I was just like, I don't know all of what it entailed. I just felt it all. And all I could say was, oh my gosh, thank you.
Beautiful.
And then after this, I turn around and one of the gals at the hotel that was booked sticks a vacancy sign out in front. And I went and talked to them. They're like, it's really weird. We never get cancellations, but we just got a cancellation. So it's pretty crazy. I'm really seeing how the instant manifestation is like more instant than it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And you model also, a couple things, following your guidance, number 1, and number 2, a sense of deep trust. I'm called, it will work out. And that, right. That was all in your energy to draw that back. That's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I was kind of at the point where I almost felt like there wasn't a lot of options. I wasn't doing any good in my apartment being thrown to the right and left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how have you been experiencing this past week?
Well, especially the last 2 days. It's like I'm feeling something a little bit like the anxiousness could easily want to come in. Mm-hmm. And you can ask, I know, is this mine or is this somebody else's? Am I picking up something, right? And like there's a lot of floaty, very just like floaty energy, and then some ascension symptoms. Noticing that too. And so there's almost this sense of something bigger out there too.
Mm-hmm.
But, what else there? And the old habit of the mind wanting to kind of be really, really engaged. So thus the nature and the practices and that to help that mind to just settle, to, relax the body.
Mm-hmm. That's actually the biggest thing I've been noticing too, and I bet everyone out there has as well, is the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, my mind is really
Mm-hmm.
wanting to go bonkers. And that's the one thing about when you get close to the mountains, they have this massive presence energy that it's really, it pulls you into presence.
Exactly.
And even there, I found my mind. I had to work at it there. And I
Mhm.
thought, thank
Okay.
God I'm here, because if I was back
Yeah.
home, it would be a lot worse.
Yeah.
And so it was constant with me having to interrupt the mind, love
Mm-hmm.
the ego,
Mm-hmm.
and the reminder of you can release the mind with gratitude.
Great. Exactly.
Gratitude. If you can immediately go into gratitude by
Thank you,
saying,
mind.
thank you,
Mhm.
mind.
For
Thank you
your
for
input.
working so hard
Yep.
for me.
Yep.
Thank
Thank
you
you for
for
your
doing your
input.
job. And then gratitude to things around you. And if you can stay in gratitude and love,
Yes.
and pull yourself into presence, no matter how hard it is, and it can be hard. And that's why I think nature is so helpful, because it's
That's
easier.
exactly. Because when I was out there then, just connecting with that bird, you could feel it. It's just sitting by the river. It was all of that immediately pulled me more into that present moment and how much more can then flow for us instead of the mind trying to effort and needing to know everything and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an old habit. That's all the mind is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and also just a reminder, if any of you out there are taking Navigating the Inner Matrix and you're watching this right now, if you're not taking it, you can still get in. Go to shriandkira.com. Jump into the program. Tomorrow night will be lesson number 2, but the first lesson is all about releasing the ego. And whenever you take these classes, you will go through the experience of whatever the lesson is. And so I found great relief when I was working on my mind, going, oh, of course, it's about the ego. This isn't going to go on a long time. It's just this week because we're going through that experience. So,
Exactly.
And a little bit more about Navigating the Inner Matrix. It really takes you through a cleansing, purifying process of all the things that don't serve you from this life experience from birth on up. So it's a powerful healing class. So yeah, go on over there and check that out.
With tools to take on your journey that have been instrumental. Beautiful, yep, practical tools and ways to do that. Yeah, highly recommend. And Geri and I have both taken the course many times. There's a beautiful up-level energy with it this year.
Yes.
So again, we jump in and celebrate that for the highest good.
And no worries, if you're catching this later and the class is over, it's an online course. You'll be able to get it online and still take it. So
Absolutely.
you can take it anytime. I think it should be taught in every middle school, high school around. I think it should be something you have to take, not even an elective. A prerequisite for life. Like, are you going to Earth? Okay, well, when you're age 11, you need to take Navigating the Inner Matrix and we'll let you go to Earth.
Oh.
So anyways, so the power of the ignited heart, and how I got to this, really, how I got to this topic, because sometimes we hash through, what's a good topic for the week. And so last week I was in the kind of the funk, the depression zone a lot of it. And this was new to me because I've never done depression before. Never. I've always woken up with tons of energy, ready to go, excited about things. I mean, there's moments of sadness that everyone goes through when something happens, but this was like something that came out of nowhere type deal. And so I thought I need to go out dancing, kind of my happy place. And so I was out dancing, and this young man who's got this amazing smile, and he's got like this internal giggle that I can feel, but he's not giggling. He just carries it as a smile. And whenever I dance with him, I feel him. And that's the gift of being able to feel, right, and dance, because you can feel the partner. And so I can feel him, and I'm smiling the whole time. And I so needed that. I so needed that smile. I so needed that memory of that energy, someone to help lift me back into that again. And as I got lifted into it, of course, there was this flow of dancing, and it was a lot more fun. And when we were done with the dance, we had several people that had been watching us and came over and went, "Oh my gosh, it was so much fun to watch you dance and your smile." And I was just happy watching you guys. And thank you for letting us watch you have fun. And it reminded me, and I needed to be reminded at that time, that when you have done the work, and when you have done the navigating the inner matrix once or twice, right? And you've opened the heart enough that it's ignited, you're in a place where your power is a lot stronger. Thank goodness that there was like this safety valve put in place, that our manifestation's power it's weak until we ignite our hearts.
Exactly.
So it still works. It may take a lot of people, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and you can still do it. But once you've ignited the heart, it's effortless. And so your ability to transfer your happiness, to transfer your joy, is magnified, whatever fold. I don't even know. But I was so reminded of how powerful it is, and how as each one of us do this, how quickly we can change all the surroundings and people around us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very profound. What a difference we can make. And to get to that ignited heart, Geri, there's, some clearing and stabilizing of those lower chakras, right? Yep. And that's, we talk about the navigating inner matrix, and others may have their ways that they've done it. But those lower chakras are what are attached to a lot of the old safety issues or past hurts and traumas. And the more that we unwind those and bring in more of who we really are, lifting into that ignited heart.
Right. And compassion is the big word. And I guess my last week's show was all about compassion as well. Truly, I don't think I entered that place of igniting my heart until I was thrown on the ground so hard that I had to surrender and basically say, I give up.
Yeah.
I give up trying.
Yes.
I give up the mind that wants to control. I give up. I let go. If I failed, oh, well, I did the best that I could. And once I was thrown to the ground that hard and I was in a place of surrender, then it was like I had to love myself back up again. And that's really what it was, loving myself up back again.
Exactly. And that's what many say, when that down on your knees, and it is. It's such a surrender. I let it go. I allow, I receive, because we've become ourselves. We weren't doing it in our own way. Right? And something huge, boom. And that's the door opening for that heart.
Yeah. And it took a lot of forgiveness too, because there was a lot of people that I had to forgive that helped throw me on the ground. Right. I didn't just fall on the ground. I got thrown on the ground, and there's people that helped do that.
There you go. Yes. And that is, the mind, the egoic piece of us, to the old programs of our victim self. And I was there too. I was extremely angry at God when I had one of my big life throw me on the ground, and I don't even know who I am or where I am. right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was tick-tock-odd at the time. That took some processing and unwinding.
Absolutely.
So I know many can have that, and some are not even conscious, is what I see, that they have that. That might be hiding unconsciously, that, because we have these beliefs too. Well, I can't really be mad at God or the universe, the divine, right? And so to unravel and see that, wow, that was powerful.
That was a big one for me too. I didn't realize that I was angry at God either.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as I'm doing my forgiveness work too, I didn't realize that was there. It took layers. And that's how the forgiveness works is you peel off a layer, then like, oh, there's another one, and you peel it off, and oh, there's another one. And like, dang it, I'm mad at God. Why would he put me in this situation? Why would he, why would he give me this? Why would he give me that? I was just this age. Why would that, it's his fault.
Yes. Yep. That is a powerful piece. When we work as healers and we help people with their forgiveness work, it's toward ourselves first, and then toward others who played a role in that, and then when we say that piece about forgiving God and the universe for creating a world where one could suffer in the way I suffered or the way I perceived I was suffering. And I see for many people, it just really opens things up. They start sobbing. It's so purifying. To then start recognizing and claiming all those beautiful gifts that we did get as we let go and heal the wounds and the traumas.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a huge act of compassion, is when you take the time to do that work, to go inside and do the forgiveness work and do the self-love work, and to put yourself first.
Very much so. Very much so. That commitment, yes. Following your own inner knowing you're worthy.
Right. And getting out of the habit of, well, I should do for them. I should get for them. I should plan for them. I should, no. Me first.
Yes. Many of us didn't see that modeled in our lives. Even, universally, for mothers, there's a sort of martyrdom that can be modeled by, some of us saw. And to step out of that and start really taking deep self-care and recognizing where we're at and what we deserve.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually probably one of the biggest twisted things that humanity has embraced, is that we should all be rescuers of other people.
Yeah.
We should always put other people before us. And when we're saying this, we don't mean you're going out for dinner and I'm first, and little petty things like that. It's in the respect of self-care and self, not saying you're going to go out with people when you don't want to just to please them. You're going to honor what you need to do for you. It's that kind of putting yourself first.
Right. Because what I noticed, and what came up with a client or two this week, was that when we are doing for others, and we may have a partner and they know enough to take care of their needs, or, if they need to fit in fun, and we're not doing it ourselves, what happens? Some resentment can start building up underneath, right?
Absolutely.
And then I remember my late husband, he'd say, well, now you go, you have time. No, I can't do that. I've got to blah, 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 take care of this and that, right? Why is that? Okay, I think that's a part of me needing to be the victim, because then I complained I didn't have the time to fulfill myself. And so looking back at that and giving love, forgiveness, mercy to ourselves, and stepping out of some old patterns and habits.
Yeah. And then when you have done that and you've really wrapped the compassion around and the heart ignites, And with that, you might notice that the feet chakras open up and there's energy flow through the feet. And that's a telltale sign that you've ignited the heart, because the heart's directly connected to the bottom of the soles of the feet. And when we do healing, right, we start at the feet often.
Gateway to the soul.
Yes. And so then your manifestation power becomes more profound. And it goes both ways. So if you're thinking garbage, you're going to manifest garbage a lot faster. Right. And it's where you become more responsible, right? Because you start to see the power of what your thoughts have. But it's also the power of your ability to change the course of humanity, to create a better world.
Right. That is so true, Geri. You know, I talked to an old friend today, and I kind of felt obligated. You know, I noticed that right away. You know, is it the action coming from true knowing in that moment, or more of an obligation? And I noticed there we may have people in front of us modeling where they're putting their attention and what's coming back to them in their life without judgment. However, it helped me to get really clear going, wow, where am I putting that attention? What, you know, is it on all the problems that keep occurring, or is it on creating the new, igniting, creating the new?
Well, and Patty, this reminds me, and if you wouldn't mind sharing your dream that you shared with me, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but that's part of where this topic came from too, because we were both.
Oh, the one just this last week or so, it was about a week ago?
The one about the house?
Oh, yes. Okay, there was two really powerful ones in last week.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll share that dream, because in the dream, it was very profound for right now, and a good reminder for me. Watch your dreams.
You were being forewarned about your week ahead.
Exactly. I was sitting at a picnic table with, I'm not sure, some dear friends, and behind was a hill, huge hill. And on top of it was a house, just like, you know, on the top of a mountain, the house is plopped there. And I kept looking at that going, that is so fascinating. How can that house stay there? How does it not fall? And then I look up and boom, a big chunk of the house fell down off the tumbled. And I, holy man, I need to be careful what I'm thinking about. So that was my beautiful reminder. And it was clear as a bell. Remembered it as soon as I woke up. And thank you for that reminder again, because very much getting that opportunity this week. Where are my thoughts?
Yeah, well, and that's the power. That's the power of the ignited heart, and that's why you have to be so careful about what you're thinking of. So I'm sitting on the beach, staring out at the mountains, and I had to giggle too, because we're in the experience month, which is a reflection of June, which was awareness. Now, I've been going to this place since 2015. And it's way up in the middle of nowhere, Idaho. And it's a town of 69 people with a nice lodge, a gorgeous lake, and mountains to die for. Yes. And it's usually a bunch of Idahoans, you know, for the most part. Mm-hmm. I show up this time and everyone's speaking Spanish. Everyone around me. I'm like, how is this happening? Yeah. And I went, is this because of my trip to Ecuador and Panama and all the Spanish speaking and talking to you about your Spanish class? Like this, I have never heard one Spanish word in this place ever. And everyone around me, I went out swimming on the dock. They're speaking Spanish. I'm like, where am I? I am now a stranger in my own place. It's so weird. And so I'm sitting on the beach in the evening, and I'm thinking to myself what I'm going to do. And I thought, you know, I would like to go to the hot springs in the morning. I'll go really early so I can get there before anyone else and have it to myself. And it wasn't more than a minute after this thought, there was 3 groups of people around me. Each one of them Hey, let's go to the hot springs. Hey, what do you think about the hot spring? Hey, let's go to the hot springs. I went, wow, my thoughts are now, people can hear them.
I gotta put a steel thing around my thoughts.
So I had this thought. I'm like, I'm going to start thinking about clowns. I'm going to start thinking about flowers. And I want to see if I can hear people talking about these things, because it was so crazy. And then at the end of the dock, and this is way out there because this lake is shallow forever. And I'm seeing some kids jumping on a raft playing. And one of the men says to the kids, I'll give you $15 for the last person left on the raft. So they're all pushing each other off. And I'm watching this. And there's just 2 girls left in the raft. And I'm thinking they should just split the money and both stay on the raft. And the man immediately says, hey, if you 2 both want to stay on the raft, you can split the money. And I'm like, no. How is this happening?
Yeah. So are you focusing? What are you wanting to call in right now? You're on fire.
But wow.
Yeah.
And then I got to the hot springs in the morning and I had it for 2 hours by myself.
You did. Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Wow.
This is on a 4th of July weekend, 2 hours by myself. So I got it by myself. And as soon as I said, okay, I'm good, then the people started rolling in. And I found myself on the way home in the car, which is really crazy. I could command the traffic. Like, this person needs to move. They're in my way. They're slow. And there's no places to pass. It's mountain roads.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, they would pull over to a sight thing, a sightseeing spot. They would, and it was like, wow, look at this. I can make people stop when I wanted them to. So, wow. So I don't know if is the title of the show today that brought that forth, or that extra little energy I got from the mountains, but it was pretty intense.
Yeah, the amplified energies, I'm certain, probably had a piece too, And I just want to, put a little caveat here for any listeners that might judge themselves if they've had some negative thoughts or something like that, and just, you can call it back, send a delete, as soon as you become aware. That's our big start is, I'm aware I was staying in this loop of some less than high vibe, thoughts. Call that back, send it some crystalline light, do a big eraser. Right. So that, you don't judge yourself if, those things.
Oh, I had plenty of that too, doing the eraser and then having to go into the gratitude.
Yes. Lift. Gratitude a lift. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yes. You want to check the Callboard, Geri? Did you?
I will. So we have the Callboard open if anyone wants to join. There is no one there, but you are welcome if anyone's listening and has a medical intuitive question, or I have my cards of clarity here. My old ones, actually. My new ones are still in the car because I literally ran from the lake to the car to this.
She's a master at that too. Sliding in at the last perfect timing.
Slipping in. Here I am.
I've known her a long time. She does this well. Looking just great.
Oh my goodness. It was tough to leave. Oh boy. It was really tough to leave. It was great. I recommend anyone out there right now, if you're having a challenging time, go where you're called, and nature seems to be really speaking right now. Even the playlists I've been pulling up just by accident, the mountains are talking, the mountains are calling.
I shared, I think, on another show, and that how the Tetons were calling to me big time last fall. And so I was able, other plans had changed, and I had this week with no work, and I just loaded up my car and I drove off to those Tetons. And as I was coming down into Grand Teton National Park, I just sobbed. My whole body just purged and sobbed, and it was like a homecoming. It was so powerful. And I happened to also be, shortly after Ecuador at the time, and it felt like a time of bringing in crystalline energy from the Andes to the Tetons And so it felt very, very, very aligning, uplifting for me at that time. And I'm hearing from others are noticing that too. My daughter even just booked time to go to the Tetons. Just going, it's calling, Mom, I've got to go. I got to put my feet on the ground there. And, there's a lot happening in some of these places. Trust where you're called. The elementals are speaking very loudly. The crystalline energy, connecting as you go to these places that you're called. Sometimes it's to give, sometimes receive, sometimes it's a perfect balance in both. Just trust these sacred sites and where you're being guided to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that each time I first see these mountains, I cry. Like when I pull up, because I can see them from a distance before I get there. And as soon as I just get a little breath of the air, I start to cry.
Beautiful.
And every time I leave, I cry too. When I'm so I don't know what it is about this place for me, but everyone has a place like that. Not
that's it. That's it. Yeah, some of the more profound places I think are all the mountains like that. Glacier National was also very. Geri and I visited that together and felt those portals, and then the Sandia Mountains in New Mexico when I first went there. Another time I just sobbed, and it's connected with my heart beyond what my brain knew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So more. Oh, I should show. Here's my mug for everyone too. What is it? I love you to the mountains and back.
Oh, perfect.
That's my
love the color too.
That's I know. Well, I was just at a lavender festival over 4th of July weekend, and I found these beautiful. That's something they can grow here in Idaho is lavender. So they had rows and rows of different kinds of lavender. Some of it was even white lavender. And music and all these lotions you can buy with their lavender and all kinds of different things. Everything you can think of. Lavender ice cream, lavender, you name it. Everything in lavender. And I actually got to watch him distill the lavender oil, which was fun. It was like two rows of lavender it took in the distiller with water to get 8 ounces of oil.
I was going to ask, how much does it take to distill down? And the power of our olfactory for healing and clearing, it's very, very powerful.
Yeah. It was quite incredible to listen to music and to be in these lavender fields. And they're making lavender crowns and lavender wreaths and
you have a lot of fun, high vibe things there. Think of all those together.
Oh, I know.
Festival, fun, dance, music, lavender.
I know. So that's where I got my mountains mug at the Lavender Festival. So beautiful thing. So get out and do those things as your heart's calling. I'm not called to be around a whole lot of people. So I've been trying to go, after other people, pick things that I know most people might not be at, or times that there's not a lot of people there. So do you have more to share about
not much else is coming
anything at the top of your mind and the power of
of the ignited heart? I just, I always think of, what is some of the themes going on in my clients this week as we share on the radio show. And for a few of them, as I was doing the remote Avesa balancing of our chakras, which lifts us into the heart to be the root, and then right above my head into the divine galactic blueprint. I love how my head is right in front of that right now.
Yeah.
And many of them were anchoring their high heart. And I remember times, Geri, both you and I, right, when things were going through that, we felt a lot here. Many people might be going through that. And it's, it's above our traditional heart chakra. And there's this ascended heart that you may feel things. And never to forget the back of the heart. And again, assisting clients to align and clear. I often will notice on the back of the heart is where we'll hold just some old energies that aren't serving us. Sometimes if somebody's been projecting at us, and, as you breathe into your heart and fill yourself with crystalline light, send it out the back, clear whatever's not serving, to really anchor and be there.
Yeah. Well, and the back is where, when people are mad at you or sending stuff at you, oftentimes that's where it is.
Yeah, it can sit right there. So if you feel things there, trust yourself and perhaps breathe into it and hold that strong intent, because you're hearing how powerful your words and intents are. Fill with light and send it off. Say, only the highest may enter here. All else must leave. Clear it, clear it. And those of us too that tend to over caretake or maybe rescue, that can be, the shoulders, the burdens, you take that on, and to that too, start noticing, are those feeling heavy, and tune in. Perhaps you're carrying somebody else's stuff that we don't need to in this beautiful heart, because you ignited is the gift, not taking it on, but you ignited offering that out in that compassion, love, non-judgment.
Yeah. Well, with these energies right now, so profound, and we've got a new moon coming up on Saturday. So I can't even imagine. So right now is a fantastic time to dream big. I mean, to dream really big. And that was a little bit of a challenge for me almost, because I'm like, okay, as I'm watching every thought being manifested in front of me, I thought, okay, I need to dream big right now because the manifestation power is huge. And
yes, that I'm reiterating that everything you're sharing. It's like,
well, and that was a bit of a challenge for me.
Okay, in what way?
In what was like, how can I dream bigger? Because I'm really good at being happy with this is good enough.
Yes, such a good point, Geri. Right? Our mind only can conceive certain level, perhaps.
Yeah, and I'm fairly simple. I mean, give me a nice simple house. I'd like a paddleboard, please. You know? And I started thinking, wait a minute, that's not big enough.
No. What's bigger, Geri? What's bigger?
And I'm like, okay, well, how about a boat would be better, and someone to drive the boat, And
we want a pontoon so we can join her.
Yeah. And granted, these are just things, right? Because my manifestation went way beyond things. It's more about me and my energy and where I want to be, and I want to be free of all
freedom to do that.
Freedom from all the past stuff, right?
Yeah.
Full ignition of my soul anchored in my body, expressing in form and joy, right? So when it comes to me, I can get very clear and see it and know it. But when it comes to things on this planet, it's like I was really troubled for thinking about expanding beyond the usual stuff. So I had to keep working at stretching.
I hear you. And then I might see somebody that's modeling it, and then I go, wow, that's really cool. What would life be like, with that home on the water or whatever, as a place that I can serve and share for the highest good of all. And play with that. Yeah, our dreams, very much so. Good time.
Well, you know what I think we should do for this last 5 minutes here? I think we should actually maybe lift up and do a little dream and use this energy right now. Do you have your chalice handy?
I've got it right here.
Do that.
Okay.
And we did start a little bit late, so we can go above 5 minutes. So let's do a clearing. Let's lift up into the Divine Galactic Blueprint. And from there, we're just going to dream big. We're just going to just use the last 5 minutes to dream big.
Let's amplify as we join together. Thank you to every one of you there in the chat. We so appreciate you joining us.
Yeah.
And we want you to feel the the aligning of this beautiful golden chalice and your powerful, intense anchor in your beloved heart. Take a deep conscious breath into the traditional root chakra at the
Hold on,
tip.
I'm gonna bring an angel with us, or maybe not an angel.
Or a benevolent one.
I'm gonna bring a card with us, and then we'll.
All right. Oh, you're good at shuffling.
Well, these cards, if you could see them, I use probably 4 times a day for a year. They're like paper.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah, the word's wearing off.
Oh, they've been well used and well loved. So
mine are too.
Okay. So with us, we are bringing. I can't even read it because it's so worn out. It's so worn out. Archangel Haniel.
Beautiful. Second time. I pulled him earlier today.
Archangel Haniel. So let's.
Is that an 8, Geri?
It's about flow. It's an 8. It's Archangel. It's an 8. Of course it is.
8 is all about the archangelic support, folks.
Oh.
You all are getting that.
Of course it is. I should just pull all the 8s out of here because they're all. Archangel 8, here it is. The presence of divine flow is around you now and asks for you to be one with it. In our world, the harmony of all life is a delicate balance that sustains all without taking from any. Pay attention to how you are creating harmony in your world now. Whatever you are seeking to manifest is ready to come forth. All you need to do is remember that balance is a harmony that is worthy of your greater attention. Accept that you are ready to live in the spaciousness that is ever abundant through acceptance of the divine flow in action. So isn't that just what we're talking about?
Isn't that exactly? Yes. And the reverse is like, why are you working so hard? Step into the flow, right? Because mine was reversed.
We're not reading the reverse because we're not reversing anything.
Nope.
So we're going to take that along with Haniel up into our instant manifestation.
That is so perfect. All right. Let's take our deep conscious breath, crystal and light, bring it down to the tip of the tailbone. Bring that light there. Envision an infinity symbol serving, cleansing, aligning, root chakra. I deserve because I was born. Ooh, feel that.
I deserve because I was born.
Lift into the sacral. Breathe that crystalline light below the navel. Side to side infinity, clearing out the front and the back. It's a beautiful portal of light connecting with all around you. Beautiful. I feel some of us clearing our sacral of the old to co-create the new. And a beautiful statement affirmation here is about, I create wholeness by loving all of myself. So feel that into those hips, sacrum. Beautiful. Lift that into the solar plexus, the stomach area, that power, empowerment. Deep conscious breath. Send the what's not serving out the front and back. This is all about trust. I trust myself. I trust the invisible timing of events. Ooh, there we go. Feeling that one. Deep conscious breath into that heart, your ignited heart. Feel the infinity symbol. We have an intersecting infinity symbol here, vibrating, clearing, aligning, balancing. Beautiful. Remember to clear out the back behind. I am love. I love beyond my family and friends. Love is. So, lifting that beautiful crystalline light into your throat chakra, the 5th chakra. Side to side, deep conscious breath out the front and back, clearing what's not serving. I listen to inner guidance. I am safe in my truth. Ooh, feel that. Feel the shoulders relaxing as you're bringing all of that into alignment. Sixth chakra between your eyebrows, your third eye, conscious breath, clear from the front, out the back. Safe to see beyond. Beautiful. Connecting with your spirit family, your personal guidance. And then bringing right from the root all the way up out your crown chakra, sending it up and out like a beautiful fountain. Your wisdom. I expect miracles. I expect miracles. Miracles are my birthright. And Geri lifts us into the...
And so as we move straight up, straight on through our crown chakra, as we move up, lotuses on our feet, and we lift way up into the diamond portal. As we lift into that diamond portal that's all crystalline on all sides. And everything is just brilliant, brilliant, brilliant crystalline light, pure, pure energy. So bright that you can't see. It's so pure and so light and so beautiful. And from this space, you can create anything you want. So see yourself now. See yourself looking what you think is the highest possible vision you have of yourself for this lifetime right now. What are you wearing? What do you look like? And now see who you're with, who's around you. And if you don't see people around you, or guides around you, or angels around you, call in that which you need. Call in that support. The people, the things, the presences that you would enjoy. Is there a partner you would like to call in? Are there friends? Are there family? Is there spiritual family? And now what are you doing? What are you doing that brings you the greatest joy possible? If you could live your soul song, what would that be? What would that look like? And now bring around you all of the things that you would like and enjoy. All the energies, all the resources, all the assistance that would support your journey, that would support your body, that would support your soul, that would support your experience. Now just bring in whatever you love around you. Is it flowers? Is it music? Is it oils? Is it whatever? Just see all of that filling up this diamond portal. And you are inside of it with all of these things that you love. All the colors, all the sounds. Are there butterflies? Are there angels? Are there fairies? What's there? And just see yourself smiling and basking in this portal of all these things that you love, all these people, friends, support, energies that you would enjoy. And just scoop it up. Just scoop it up and just bring it all around you. And know that you deserve every bit of it, and you can create every bit of it, and you're going to do that as you're doing it right now. And so as we get ready to exit this portal, we just say thank you. Thank you for Haniel, for bringing us through this flow, for guiding us up into this portal, and to the universe for assisting us to remember who we are, to be the creators that we are, and for this moment and opportunity right now. As we come back down, come back down, come back down into our bodies. And here we are. Everything's a little brighter.
It is. I see that. I feel that. Wow. Feel that space. It's like a beautiful cocoon, crystalline light, creation.
Creation. That's where we're at, everyone. We've got a new moon on Saturday. So,
Yes.
work on those minds as best as you can, or just let it go if you can. But if you can't,
be in your joy. Do yes.
Yep.
Celebrate you.
Yep. And gratitude's your way out of it if your mind gets away from you. So go into gratitude. It's been great, everyone. Namaste. Have a great week.
Beautiful week.